Here's part 7 of this module for you. Up to now, we've been working a lot with statements. For example, hace un año que trabajo aquí, meaning it makes a year that I work here. So in English, we would say, I've been working here for a year, right? But we can also turn that into a question, and that would look like this. ¿Hace cuánto tiempo que trabajas aquí? So here I'm asking, it makes how much time that you work here. So I'm asking, how long have you been working here? Now the formula is the same, where we have hace and then some period of time followed by que and the present tense. What's turning it into a question is this use of cuánto. Now this could be cuánto tiempo or cuántos años, cuántas horas, so forth. There's a ton of options that you have here, but this introduction of cuánto into the formula is how we use it to ask questions. In this case, how long have you been working here? Now we can also do this with the introduction of the word ago. For example, a statement would be hace un año que trabajé aquí. So here it makes 1 year that I worked here. So I worked here a year ago is how I would say it in English, but turning it into a question, it would be ¿Hace cuánto tiempo que trabajaste aquí? Now we have it makes how much time that you worked here. And again, with this dot past, we get the effect of ago in English. So it makes how much time that you worked here would be how long ago did you work here in English. And this also works with hacía. So a statement would be hacía un año que trabajaba aquí. It was making a year that I was working here. In English, we would say, I had been working here for a year, and then we probably continue when whatever something happens. And again, we can turn that into a question. So the same formula, but now we're including cuánto. So we have hacía cuánto tiempo que trabajabas aquí. What I'm asking here is, it was making how much time that you were working here when whatever happened. In English, we would say or ask, how long had you been working here when whatever, okay, before you got fired or something like that. So you can see in all three cases, we're turning it into a question with this use of adding cuánto into the formula. And you have many options for this. You have cuántas horas, cuántos días, cuántas semanas, cuántos meses, cuántos años, cuánto tiempo, and there are more. So we're plugging in these little cuántas or cuántos or cuánto inside the formula where normally the time frame would go. Now, again, the formulas remain the same. You're just plugging in this idea of cuánto to create questions. So in summary, and being quite honest with you, I think this module was actually quite difficult because these expressions of time are tough in both languages. You saw in the introduction video just how complex it was in English, and it's also complex in Spanish until this idea of using hace sinks in and becomes natural to you. Now, if this was your first contact with this idea, then you're going to need to give it time, maybe even quite a lot of time to sink in. To help you, I've produced a PDF with all the formulas and examples, all the information that we've been through basically in a nutshell. And I'd like you to print that off and then actually take a break from this module and this idea of using hace for a week or more, and then come back and have a look at it again and keep repeating that process until gradually the idea of this concept starts to sink in and become more and more natural.